Dawn broke over Caracas on January 6, 2026, painting the sky in soft orange and pink. The city was still, the usual hum of life not yet begun. Mount Avila loomed quietly, a silent guardian over the capital. In homes and apartments, families stirred the aroma of coffee just beginning to drift. Early risers set up market stalls, unaware of the coming storm. La Carlota Air Base, nestled in the city's heart, was calm. Guards patrolled lazily, and American B-52 bombers sat on the runway, part of a tense joint exercise. The crews were relaxed, the atmosphere more political than military. The city breathed in the cool morning air, its struggles momentarily forgotten. Caracas held its breath, wrapped in deceptive calm. No one suspected this ordinary Tuesday would be violently torn from normalcy. The tranquility was a fragile veneer, about to shatter. The world was about to change forever for millions. The deepest calm always comes before the storm. And this was the calm before the most dramatic storm Caracas had ever seen. Suddenly, the morning silence was ripped apart by a thunderous roar. Jet engines screamed low over the city, rattling windows and jolting people awake. The sky, moments ago peaceful, was now filled with menacing military aircraft. Panic erupted, car alarms blared, people rushed to windows in fear. Dozens of fighter jets and attack helicopters swarmed above, moving with terrifying precision. Explosions rocked the city, black smoke rising from key targets. The peaceful dawn had become chaos and war. The aircraft were unmistakably American. F-22 Raptors and Apache helicopters dominating the skies. Initial strikes targeted command centers and military barracks, dismantling Venezuela's defenses before they could react. For Caracas, the abstract conflict with the US had become terrifyingly real. Shouts and screams filled the air as people scrambled for safety. Was this a coup? An invasion? The questions were drowned out by the roar of jets and explosions. The sky was now a theater of destruction. The people of Caracas were trapped, terrified witnesses to their city's sudden transformation. The world had turned upside down in minutes. Inside a B-52 at La Carlota, Major John Griffin was thrown against his straps by a distant explosion. The calm standby mission had become a combat zone in seconds. Red lights flashed, alarms blared. This was no exercise. Griff's training took over, hands moving swiftly across controls. "Power up now!" he shouted to his co-pilot, Eva Hawk Rostova. Outside, chaos reigned, machine gun fire, jets overhead, the airbase under attack. The B-52, a Cold War relic, was now the world's largest target. Griff raced through checklists, trying to bring the bomber to life in seconds. Anti-aircraft tracers streaked past the cockpit. Local forces were fighting back. Every second felt like an eternity as the crew worked frantically. The bomber needed a long runway and time, luxuries they didn't have. Sweat trickled down Griff's back as he realized they were sitting ducks. The fate of the crew and the massive aircraft depended on their speed. The race against time had begun, with death closing in. Survival now depended on split-second decisions. A crackle in Griff's headset, Command's voice, calm and urgent. "Archangel, this is Skyfire. Execute emergency protocol Phoenix. Takeoff is immediate. No explanation, just a cold, direct order." Protocol Phoenix meant launching under fire, with no support. Survival, at all costs. Griff shouted, "Phoenix is a go. Prepare for emergency takeoff." Eva's face was pale but determined. The crew snapped into action. The order confirmed their worst fears. They were on their own, deep in enemy territory. The tension in the cockpit was suffocating. The command was absolute. Get airborne no matter what. Staying on the ground meant certain destruction. Griff pushed the throttles forward, engines roaring to life. The bomber shuddered, ready to leap into the unknown. Survival was now the only mission. He had to trust the planners behind this operation. As he prepared to release the brakes, all that mattered was the long, exposed runway ahead. The threats were everywhere, but hesitation meant death. The order from the void left no room for doubt. Fly or die. "Brakes released!" Griff yelled as the B-52 lurched forward. The bomber accelerated slowly, the runway a gray ribbon through chaos. A hangar exploded nearby, shrapnel raining across the tarmac. Griff fought to keep the plane centered, his knuckles white. Suddenly a missile streaked from the hills, no time for countermeasures. It zipped past, exploding harmlessly beyond the runway. The crew exhaled, but danger was far from over. The bomber thundered down the tarmac, debris littering their path. Griff had no choice but to plow through, the landing gear taking a beating. Alarms blared, gear integrity compromised. "We won't be able to retract it," Eva shouted. "We'll worry about that in the air," Griff replied, eyes on the airspeed. Finally, the indicator hit rotation speed. "Rotate," Griff commanded, pulling back on the yoke. The nose lifted, the main wheels leaving the pavement with a groan. The Archangel was airborne, climbing unsteadily into the smoky sky. A wounded giant had escaped its fiery cage. As the B-52 clawed into the sky, Griff saw the hell below. Caracas was under siege, fires burned, black smoke rising. Sirens wailed, drowned by jets and explosions. Anti-aircraft fire flashed from Venezuelan positions, desperate but futile. Civilian life had collapsed. Traffic frozen. Crowds running in terror. The attack had caught everyone off guard. Chaos reigned. Government officials were targets, their authority erased in minutes. The Venezuelan government was in shock, its leaders cut off or captured. Vice President Rodriguez tried to command from a bunker, but her words went unheard. The city was on its knees, its future held hostage. The sight of the B-52 rising from La Carlota was a symbol of American dominance. For Caracas, it was a moment of profound fear and anger. The city's fate was now in foreign hands. The shock would haunt the nation for generations. The B-52, landing gear stuck down, was slow and vulnerable. Griff leveled off, hugging the mountains to avoid radar. The mission escaped Venezuelan airspace, rendezvous with a tanker over the Caribbean. Every minute in the air was a risk. Fuel burned fast. The crew worked frantically, assessing damage and odds. Back in Caracas, the initial attack subsided. Fires crackled, sirens wailed. The government declared a state of emergency, but their words rang hollow. President Maduro's capture was confirmed, sending shockwaves worldwide. The desperate B-52 takeoff became a symbol of the operation's audacity. For the US, it was a testament to its airmen. For Venezuela, a scar in the sky. The image of the bomber climbing through smoke would never be forgotten. Griff looked back at the coast, his mission complete, but the future uncertain. The raid was a military success, but peace was far from certain. The flight of the B-52 was over, but Venezuela's story was just beginning.